Whenever I'm struggling with procrastination or what I think is procrastination, the first step is to actually just stick the thing in the schedule and figure out what specifically the next action step actually is.
Good, yeah.
And I find this a lot with students when I'm teaching. It's like, oh, I'm going to study physiology tomorrow. I'm like, okay, hang on. Firstly, what time? They're like, oh God, okay, fine. 7 till 8. All right, cool. Now, study physiology is never going to happen. So like, what specifically are you going to do? It's like, okay, cool, I'll read chapter 4. Okay, cool. Now within chapter 4, reading chapter 4 in Guyton and Hall's physiology is never going to happen. It's too long. Like, do you want to pick some questions? And guiding people through that thought process results in okay, fine. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., I'm going to do questions 8 till 13 in this book. Does that kind of vibe with your experience of helping solve procrastination?
Oh yeah, I'm going to give you a big hug from across the ocean here. I've leaned a lot in that book that you're reading on Peter Gollwitzer's work on implementation intentions. So there's goal intentions. We spent a lot of time talking about goals. You just told me you hired a personal trainer to help you set better goals. But it sounds like the trainer also introduced you to implementation intentions, and they're often framed, and research shows they're best framed as, in situation X, I'll do behavior Y to achieve sub-goal Z. And there's other research to show that when we think about things in the abstract, they seem to belong to tomorrow. There's no sense of urgency to them. And when we think about things concretely, they belong to today. So you put those two things together, and it says something about the way the human mind works, that we can, well, in a sense, we can borrow this notion of nudge, right? That we move ourselves in the direction of the way the mind works by saying, I'm going to set a time and a specific behavior. I'm going to make it as concrete as possible, because concrete goals, my brain treats them differently. And again, on implementation intentions also help us break habits or establish new habits, because we put the cue for the action into the environment and not rely on internal cues, because internal cues, I've already got my habits established. And the example I constantly use, Ali, is how years ago I wasn't flossing my teeth, and my dentist told me that I was developing problems with my gums, not surprisingly, because of that. And for whatever reason, I'd brush my teeth every day, really habitually, and I felt it was an important health habit, but I resented flossing my teeth. I didn't like it, and it was just too much of a bother, but I realized I had to do it. So I made an implementation intention. When I pick up my toothbrush, because I always did, I will put the floss on the counter. When, then. When, then. When I put down my toothbrush, I will pick up my floss. Now, some of your listeners might be saying, no, you should floss before you brush your teeth. I got there, but I needed to bootstrap this process by saying, when, then, and then it became a habit to have there. And then I also realized that flossing actually feels good. It wasn't as aversive as I thought. In fact, I can't imagine not flossing now. And if I floss every day. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't some days when I'm tired and a little Timmy, little 6-year-old Timmy, maybe even older than that, will say I don't feel like it, I don't want to. And I have all sorts of other strategies I go to. Like, what's the next action? Just pick up the floss. Or more importantly than that, going back to our earlier discussion of meditation, mindfulness, a Buddhist mindset, you name it, Parker Palmer, because he said this, I can have an emotion without being that emotion. This is another big personal mantra. Yeah, I'm having this emotion. I don't want to. I don't want to floss my teeth. I don't have to be that. I can work from other parts of my inner landscape. And my other part of my inner landscape is I have a health goal that's important to me. Healthy gums. And flossing a lot one day a week. You floss every day. And then I pick up the floss and I floss, right? And in a sense, then I'm not becoming identified with a thought. But to take it back to where this part of our conversation began, absolutely. Implementation intentions are a great step towards reducing procrastination. But as Peter Gollwitzer makes clear, even some of his papers in the late 1990s, when he was really starting to roll this stuff out, you have to have a commitment to that goal or it's not going to work. Right? There's no trick or technique on its own will ever make a difference if you're not committed to the goal achievement. These tools serve goal achievement. And if you're not committed to that goal, well, nothing magic's going to happen.
Hey friends, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, then click here for the full unedited episode. And if you like that, then do please consider subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.